Hello, thank you for joining us today. So today we are going to be working on cleaning up a gentleman's neckline in between haircuts. You also can use this as your finishing touch to the man's original haircut or to a woman's undercut or short pixie cut. From there, we're also going to be shaping a gentleman's beard. And in order to get both of these things done, we're going to be using a trimmer. I personally like my Sterling trimmer. I've been using one for 10 years. Kind of have to keep going with that. We're also going to be using a balder, which I personally find that I really enjoy the wall balder. Now keep in mind with this, you cannot use this on someone unless you've already gone over it with the trimmer or you've brought them down to a 5-0. This will simply just grab at the hair and you will go through your metal foil, which I prefer the gold foils. You get a little bit closer. They are a little bit more expensive. However, when you're doing this on the professional level every single day, really makes a difference, really gets you a little closer. It's a fantastic alternative to straight razor shaving. I'm also going to make sure that I'm able to sanitize myself, keep my client sanitized, and everything clean and good to go from there. I'm going to be using a fresh cape on him today. I'm also going to make sure that I have more than one fresh comb, because if I drop one of these, I am not bending down to pick that up. That is absolutely against state board policy. We're also going to make sure that our blade is clean as well as properly oiled. And from there, of course, we are going to make sure that we also sanitize our own hands. And again, keep that in mind for not only when you're working in the real world, but for the fact that when you are at state board, every last thing you do, you better show them that you are washing your hands and sanitizing. Just want to remind everyone that we are in quarantine right now. I'm working with what I have. So I'm using a paper towel as a neck strip. However, you probably want to use a real neck strip. They're going to be stretchier material and not as itchy on somebody. And that's going to go all the way around prior to the cape touching them. This is going to help any loose hairs from getting down, as well as make sure that that cape is not touching their skin. Say you used a detergent that this client is allergic to and now it's touched their skin. Now you're sending them home with a rash you really did not want to. And that Xanax strip gets folded down right there. I'm going to tuck him a little extra. Now, generally speaking, I'm always going to be working next to my heart, which means that what I'm working on right here should be lining up at about heart level. You love what you do, so make sure that it stays there. Beyond that, I also generally am going to be standing directly where I am working. However, I'm trying to make sure the camera sees us, so I'm standing a little bit off to the edge. If I was doing his back line for real, I would be standing absolutely right here with him. But today, I'm going to be standing off to the side for you guys to start. I'm going to be turning my model around, and I'm going to be doing his back hairline from here. So what I'm looking for is I'm going to be squaring him off. I find this easier from finding the corner pieces first, and then working from the center out. You're going to find a pattern that really works for you. I find that if I go center to outside corners, I kind of start to lose my guide, which is why I like to get those outside corners done first. And with him, we have some really clean lines. Most men are going to have very clean lines as to where those should be. Starting my buzzer on and starting right behind that ear. Now, prior to using my trimmers on this client, I did sanitize it from the last client. I did not wipe the sanitizer off. I simply let it sit for a full 10 minutes in between use. Now if you see, I'm edging it very carefully. Let me move my hand. I'm edging this very carefully, following that natural line the hair wanted to, making sure I have a clean line, and then going in the opposite way to clean up, making sure not to go into my design line. Brushing everything out just to double check it. See a couple little flying hairs. Now onto the other side. Again, very nice natural line because he does have a clipper cut, which means that this was done with the machine on the sides and back. So I'm going to follow that natural line. Gently touching his skin with this. And if you see, again, most men are going to have a very natural hairline, and you don't want to bring it up above that. And now this is standard for pretty much any haircut you're going to do, whether it's on a woman, on a man, center out. You're going to keep that man's head up. If you put them down, you will end up with a squiggle across here, and that will not look great. And now you're going to take a step back and you're going to check for balance. Once I'm done with the back hairline, I'm going to take my balder out. And that's just going to get you a little bit closer than that trimmer did. You'll get a very similar effect if you were to lather him up with some shaving cream and go in with your straight razor. So now we're moving right along onto right around the ears. And remember, two really important things. Ears bend, so I can get this out of my way. Ears also bleed a lot, so I'm going to also be very careful. I'm going to start by connecting where that straight line, where the straight line in the back end was. I'm bringing it around the ear. Also keeping in mind that where that ear does bend, if I bend that and pull that ear, I'm moving that hair into an unnatural position and then cutting it to blend in with something that's not going to always happen. Now I'm moving over to the front of the ear. And again, 2 fingers on the ear, pulling it back a little bit. Going up, back down. Combing it. I see there's just a couple little hairs that still touch that ear. And now with him, we've been growing these sideburns out. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my comb under with all the hair and pull it out until I can see that very bottom guideline there. And I'm going to do that one more time because I still can see it's not totally blended in there. And what we're doing is we're just creating a fade for that sideburn. And I'm going to put that shape right in there for me now. So now we're going to move on to the other ear. And again, same thing, connecting the back around and going around the front. Again, what we're trying to do is create balance through a haircut. And get a little clipper over comb action right where that sideburn is. And now I'm really going to stand directly in front of my client to get those sideburns lined up. I personally am going to put a pinky on each sideburn, and I'm looking for my arms to be completely level when I do that. And I noticed I totally left one a little longer. And now I did not. So as far as the beard goes, in this case scenario, we are leaving the goatee, which means we are not taking everything off of the face. We have to keep in mind that some men like a different amount on their chin. Some men can handle a different amount on their chin based on their face shape. The whole goal of having this facial hair is to give the illusion of an oval face. When women have their hair and they grow it longer and they put layers in it and they face frame it, all they're trying to do is get that illusion of having an oval shape to their face, because that is what beauty standards have told us is the most perfect, which obviously really is not the case. But most men, again, are going for that oval shape. If they like that they have a square shape or they like their heart shape, you can also accentuate those features that they like. Ask, have a consultation, make sure you know your client. I've been doing his hair a pretty long time, so I'm pretty sure we're going for that oval look. So I'm going to run my trimmer along everything, pulling the hair taunt as I do it. And unlike your straight razor shave, I did move over to the other side of his face. And then we're going to go in with his balder. And we did it. Just a reminder, guys, I'm Blaine. Anything you need, questions, comments, concerns, what you want to see next, please just let myself or Miss Steph know, and I'll get anything you need on over to you.